Hey, 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 Fit Mama. Jen Oliver here, your host of the Fit Mama podcast. This is the work in to your workout. Hey, Fit Mama, and welcome to episode 30. This is all about getting your body back. This is the single most common thing I hear from new moms is that they cannot wait to quote unquote get their body back. And I quote this because, as I say in the Love Fit Mama Way book, your body never went anywhere. It actually has nothing to do with what you do at the gym or in the kitchen or anywhere for that matter towards your fitness, food, or whatever. It actually has everything to do with your relationship to yourself. I can totally agree with you that you may feel like your body was taken over by someone else or others, depending how many pregnancies you've had. But it is amazing that it feels one way, but the reality is it's as easy as switching your feelings toward your body to bring it back into alignment maybe, or connection, or feeling the feelings, which sometimes we don't feel or want to feel when we go through traumas, or we're just in hyper overdrive, sympathetic overdrive, as I've talked about before, in that fight or flight place where we're trying to keep our baby alive. We're not getting enough sleep. We got other kids to take care of. We got so much on the go, and we aren't taking care of this body that we have. We're wishing it was something else. We're wishing it looked like someone else. We're wishing it looked like our former self, perhaps. But either way, we're wishing for something that isn't the reality. And you know this if you've watched my TEDx talk, which has just come out, I'm so excited about. It is called How to Love Yourself to the Core. If you search that on YouTube, you will find it. It is on the TEDx official site on YouTube. But what I say in this, and I leave it up, and that's my cover photo on my Facebook profile, because this is my quote that I remind Fit Mamas of all the time, is that if you can love the body and life you have, you will have the body and life you love. So just like your body didn't go anywhere and you want it back, it's really just about breathing back into the body you have, appreciating, loving, enjoying, honoring the body that you currently have. And I'm going to go into a lot more detail here in this podcast to give you a really great idea of how this sex and self-care piece of the FitMama Foundations fits in. Because really it's about that relationship with you before you go and have sex with your partner even. It's getting back to your body in a sexual way too after having babies and breastfeeding, possibly, depending on if you did. It's a total giving of your body. And I remember, I don't know if this happened to you, but I read, and it's funny that it happened to me because I remember reading about it after it happened, is that when you orgasm, so whether I was doing it by myself or when I was with my husband, when I orgasmed, when I was breastfeeding, not while I was breastfeeding, but during sex or whatever, if I had orgasm, my breasts would start leaking milk because it's the same hormone pathway of oxytocin being released when you orgasm as when you breastfeed, when you let down. And you might feel that. If you remember breastfeeding, or if you're currently breastfeeding, you remember that feeling of, it's really that surrender when your breasts just let down and feed your baby. It feels really good. And it is the same pathway that you get when you orgasm. So I remember being very conscious and self-conscious a little bit about this when I was having sex with my husband when I was breastfeeding, because my breasts were so very sensitive in a way that did not always feel good. It was more of, oh my God, they're being breastfed all the time. So my nipples were different, obviously. And I'm sure you remember yours being that way too. But it really is about not being self-conscious in that way, because yes, we would have orgasms together, separately, etc., and my boobs would leak and they would be pouring milk. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? It was very odd. And so once I Googled what's going on here and figured it out, it was fine. And at the end of the day, it was really about me and my relationship with myself that mattered more, because my husband did not care. He was very happy that he was helping me orgasm and that he was orgasming and that we were having sex and all the rest. So it really was about my relationship with me. And so many levels of me feeling like having sex or wanting to initiate sex or wanting to follow through or whatever have to do with my relationship with myself, with how I feel, with whether I've shaved my legs or I've gotten a bikini wax, or whether I've been taking care of myself and I have the energy to stay up later or wake up early and do it, or in the middle of the day or whenever we can, right? It's about my energy level. And that became a much more of a motivator for me, is getting back into feeling like myself for me. And then, yes, extending that to my husband and, of course, my children who are needing of me. And it's really interesting when you start to look at your life, maybe do a little introspection and see where you're feeling things are hard or things are frustrating, or you're feeling like you want things to be different than they are, but you're hanging on to an antiquated thought, like you need to get your body back. You need to go to the gym, or you need to go join a class, or you need to get a trainer, or you need to go do some big old thing that really isn't what you need. It's actually breathing back into your body, realizing that, yes, you had some long-term Airbnb guests taken over here, and it did feel a little not like your own because you were giving of yourself at all times, constantly with the needs of your babies or whomever. But really, really, really at the bottom line, it's about accepting this body, where it's at, and how you feel right now. If you do not feel like having sex, don't do anything you don't feel like doing. But realize you have needs, your partner has needs and desires, and how can you get to a place of feeling good? Because you don't have to wait till you look a certain way or turn off the lights or have sex with your clothes on or something until that time. Realize that this body is the body that your partner loves. This is the body that for your children, and is the beautiful body with which you live your days out, which you are able to give to the world because of this beautiful body.
And right now, a quick interruption of today's podcast to send some love to our show's sponsor, Four Sigmatic. Four Sigmatic is the mushroom coffee you see me posting about and drinking all the time. This stuff is so energizing, delicious, and nutritious, Fit Mama. The benefits are too many to name here. But did you know that we humans are more closely related to fungi than any other kingdom? Interesting, eh? I drink one or more of these little cups of delight almost every day, and the non-jittery boost of energy and calm that I get at the same time, as well as focus. It really helps me focus. My favorite is the Think Mix, which has lion's mane and chaga in it, which is yummy. When you bring it up towards your nose, it does have a little bit of a mushroom aroma, but it tastes so good. It's very earthy and just delicious. I'd love to know which ones you've tried and how you like them. I would really love to hear. So just to give you a quick idea, drinking your mushrooms is an incredible way to boost your immunity and keep your body and mind healthy for all the amazing things you do in a day, Fit Mama. Thank you for sharing.
So really, really, really understand that about yourself, because if you are feeling like you are not embracing where you're at and you're not accepting the body that you have and you're feeling like you have no energy, then it is time to realize that the relationship with yourself is the one that does require some work, right? Realizing that You don't need to take out a gym membership or go see a nutritionist. Maybe it's a little more masturbation. Maybe it's a little more time in the shower, washing your hair or putting a special hair mask on. I'm all about unicorn hair, as you will see me talk about all the time online. My hair has never been better since I started doing hair masks and using the best products that aren't filled with crap, like so many of the products out there. Being conscious of what you put on your skin, using face creams or washes, products that actually are good for you and the environment. These are the self-care pieces that will lead you to feeling amazing, to feeling at your best, to feeling like your body is yours because it's taken care of, because it's like that car that you love so much, or that house that you take care of and clean. That body of yours deserves the time. I remember when I had little ones, and I mean, this still happens from time to time if I get crazy with work and just not taking care of myself. It is, I don't shower, or I don't do my face masks, or I don't do my face lotion, or I don't do whatever habits I deem as self-care habits that make me feel good. When I don't do those, things start to go downhill and fast, because at the very foundation of us and taking care of ourselves, it allows us to be not only the best caregivers for our loved ones, but also role models for them. We teach our children through our actions. And just like you want to go out on a run or do something active by yourself, it is being a role model for your children when you do that, even when things are busy. Even when things are hard. I know my mentors and coaches, I remember them saying very clearly, and this is more than one, telling me to double down, even triple down on self-care when things get crazy. Because we go into sympathetic overdrive, which you know I've talked about, which is our overdrive of feeling in fight or flight or fright, where our hormones are in overdrive, which is what we're usually in as new moms, taking care of our babies and keeping our families together and alive and functioning. It's a lot. And at this foundation, when we can be role models and taking care of ourselves at the same time, we know that we are going to be better. And it's so easy to blame the time. It's easy to blame the fact that things are hard. It's easy to blame others that we don't have the opportunity because of them. But where are we using these excuses to justify behavior that we don't want to engage in anymore? Behavior that we know is eating away at us, is actually taking us further from our goals, but we still keep on doing it. Most likely, it's going against our best interests in self-care. It's most likely making us feel worse at the end of the day. Most likely, it's needing us to focus on what is that one thing that we could do differently that would make a really big difference and doesn't take us away from our goals. I see this all the time with my clients, and I talk about this with other practitioners and coaches around what our clients need most. And it is that support around setting boundaries and creating space for self-care to happen. Because if it's not scheduled in, we know family, work, life, cleaning, priorities of other kinds, etc., will take over. They will seep into every waking moment. And if we're not intentional and standing for ourselves, we will fall prey to anything and everything that comes our way. And this comes from that exploration that we talked about last week around journaling and what our negative escape habits are, what those emotional drama stories are that are keeping us busy in our heads, that are keeping us busy in our lives, that we aren't facing the truth because we're wanting to distract ourselves, because we're wanting to take the easy way out with blaming others instead of taking responsibility. I know for me, this was a huge one, especially around my back pain, especially around my self-care when I was frustrated with my body, when it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. I know that feeling when your body feels like it's not the one you thought it was going to be. It's not working the way you expected it to be. Things should have looked, felt, or been different by now. I know that feeling, and I'm telling you, from the bottom of my heart here, Fit Mama, it begins with loving what is, loving what you have, loving every little inch of you, and loving it for what it has done, what it has brought, and what it is doing for you in every moment. Because accepting it, appreciating it, and being aware of all the good it does do and what it has for you will allow you to start to treat it with better care. Just like you do brush your teeth every morning, because obviously walking around with bad breath or stained teeth is not part of your goals. And you've made it enough of a priority that you do it every day without fail. How about your heart? How about your lungs? How about the organs you don't see every day, or even the ones you do, like your skin, but you can put off? Right? You can justify in some way that, yeah, you'll worry about that when you're older. Yeah, you'll have more time for skincare regimen when you're older. You'll have more money to go get surgery or something when you're older. However, you're justifying your lack of self-care now, just trust that this relationship you're creating with yourself right now becomes the habits that actually dictate your behaviors in the future. Yes. And this relationship that you build and cultivate in that quiet solo time in your life, the words you use to yourself, the thoughts you think in your own head, the foods you eat when nobody is looking, these are the things that allow you to create a loving, trusting relationship with yourself, or one that could be eroded by lies on any given day. The lies you tell yourself that you're going to start next week instead. That, oh, just this last one time. Oh, it's just this one thing. Oh, I just skip it tonight. I'll start tomorrow. We tell ourselves these things and we justify them in the moments that we're most busy, when that is the moments we need them most. Because there is this inner and outer world, Fit Mama. There's this world outside ourselves that we want to fit into, that we've wanted to fit into since we were little girls, going out to school, going, how do I fit into this big world? How do I fit into this classroom, in this family, in this group, in this club, in this sport? Where do I fit in? Am I worthy? These are the questions we've asked ourselves since we were little. And now the answer lies in you. Giving yourself the validation, giving yourself the love, giving yourself the importance and the pedestal that you deserve in that inner world. Because it can match the outer world if you see the outer world in a specific way. And I'm going to go into this over the next number of podcasts as I talk more and more about this inner versus the outer world, and the inner size versus the exercise, as this is the work in to your workout after all. So if you are finding you want to get your body back or do some habits that you're not doing right now, it begins with this very clear awareness, the awareness of what is happening right now, the words and the thoughts you're using towards yourself, the boundaries you're setting or not setting in your life to create the space needed to form a stronger bond and relationship with you and your core beliefs above all. So these are the ABCs. If you can remember this: A, awareness; B, boundaries; and C is core beliefs. Because whatever core beliefs you live by, even if you're not conscious of them or aware of them, you are being guided by them. You're being guided by them. Guiding you are your core beliefs. And because of your core beliefs, you keep creating the same over and over in your life. So allow yourself not to be guided by your impulses and maybe the old core beliefs that you've been living by, where you don't matter or you don't have time, and rewrite these core beliefs through your journaling practice or through joining us in the FitMama Foundations as we crack through the code on your core beliefs so that you can create new core beliefs, routines, rituals, and habits that are working for you, that begin with the motivation that starts in your heart through love for yourself, not through spite, not through anger, not through I have to, I should, or I'm lazy, but through love, Fit Mama, love. And all the stuff that you want is just a breath away. It's just a feeling choice away through self-care, through taking the time in your schedule to schedule face mask, to taking the time to schedule workout or work in, just breathing on your meditation cushion with no distractions, taking time to cook a meal that feels good to feed yourself and your family. Because through that love, that appreciation, that care that you have, it all connects back to the core of who you are. Breathe back your body, Fit Mama. Breathe back into the body that you have, that you already are in. Because wishing it was a different body or feeling like it's outside yourself and it's something you have to chase will never make it come closer. It actually will make it feel further away. Your breath, Fit Mama, is the key that opens up everything you've ever wanted in your life. Especially loving the body and life you have begins with the breath. Begins with you realizing that the breath is that connector for your life, for your body-mind connection. You breathe every single day, whether you're focused on it or not. It happened the moment you were born, and it will stop the moment you die. It is your connector to the core of who you are, and it will allow you to feel the feelings you want to feel, to move through, to feel the feelings that you truly desire, that you think will come with getting your body back.
I just want to take another quick second here to announce a second show sponsor for today. This sponsor is Muse, brain sensing technology. As I am always talking about on the FitMama podcast and online, taking the time to quiet your mind, create space and calm is essential to living a loving FitMama life. This is achieved through meditation, among other things. One of the tools I've discovered to make this even more of an achievable goal in your life is Muse. Muse is a headband that you wear, and the sensors actually sense your brainwave activity. I know. And then it gives you feedback as to whether you are in the calm zone or if your brain patterns are a bit stormy. Literally, it has storm sounds, then birds when your brain is calm. It's very fun. It's like training your brain by lifting weights or dancing to a routine. This creates the neural pathways to help boost your connection to calm all day, every day, by training and knowing exactly how it feels. I don't think there's anything better. Real-time feedback for your brain training. It's worth it, and the data is out there to show it. Meditation improves lives, and it will improve yours. Start today with 15% off all your orders at Muse using the link in the show notes today. And back to our show.
Your cells are listening every second to everything that you say or do, including everything that you think. And as I say in my Fit Mama TEDx talk, the How to Love Yourself to the Core that you can find on YouTube by Googling or gandering or whatever you're going to call it on YouTube, searching for how to love yourself to the core, you will see that I talk about this fact that you have about 70,000 thoughts in a single day. And your cells are listening to every one of these thoughts, Fit Mama. And the cells in your body, which are in the trillions, make up your skin, your hair, your bones, your nails, etc., etc., etc. And all the cells that you can or cannot see create the body that you have. And these cells listen to every thought that you think, and they listen to every word that you speak. And the funny thing is, and this is something I remember reading about, this is over a decade now. I remember reading this, and I remember teaching this to the runner's world, it was running room. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to a running room. There was a running room in Hamilton when I lived there doing my master's. And that was in about 2007 that I started doing running clinics for the running room. And I was teaching people how to run. And I would do talks as well. In addition to the runs, I would do a little talk for the run. And I remember teaching them about this fact that your cells, A, listen to everything that you think and say, but B, your cells actually overturn over the course of 7 years. So what do I mean by that? Your cells completely renew, i.e., they die and new ones are created over the course of 7 years in every single cell that makes up your physical body. Yes, the DNA is the same. And yes, epigenetics plays a role now, which is fascinating and exciting. But the key thing to know is that including your liver, including your skin, your stomach, your intestinal lining, your tongue, your teeth, your nails, your hair, your eyelashes, every single one of those cells that makes up your entire physical body will die and be renewed over 7 years. Yes. So 7 years from now, you will be a completely different person, literally at the surface level. Your DNA will be the same and your thoughts may be the same if you keep them the same, or they may be different if you evolve your thoughts. And that's what the Love Fit Mama way is really about, is keeping your mind open to the way things could be. And even if you say, well, I was always overweight, I always struggled with my weight, I always was this, that, or the other, you have the potential power to make changes through not only doing different things, eating different foods, but thinking different thoughts and actually speaking different words. So realize this pancreas that you have is not the same pancreas that's going to be here when you're 60. So take care of this one and feed it love so it may be a stronger one when you are 60. Remember, the heart, the lungs, etc., etc. They all have memories. Give them new good ones to bring them strength, joy, and love. And this is what we teach at the FitMama Foundation so that you can understand and reconnect with the core of who you are to make the best decisions for you now and in the future, not only for you, but for your family as well. And when these come from love and self-care, they don't come from fear. They come from your heart. And it creates that positive, virtuous cycle I talked about last time. Really clear for you on how you want to feel. What is giving you the body of your dreams really giving you? I saw someone post something on Facebook the other day that said, if I just have the body that I really want, I'll take really good care of it and keep it that way, I promise. And I thought, well, okay, she's talking. I could tell it was a woman, and she was talking about having this six-pack or perfect body that she thought she really wanted. And she said, once it gets there, I'll take really good care of it. And my thought was, I didn't comment or like or anything. I literally just scrolled by it and thought, well, A, if you can love the body you have right now and treat it with the loving care you think you're going to treat that body with, it's going to look like whatever body you dreamed of within the next few weeks. It really will. Maybe months, maybe years, depending on how much you've gone against what your body love feels for. But at the end of the day, if you really treat yourself like you think that perfect body is being treated, then it will look the perfect for you. What really matters to you, Fit Mama? What really matters is getting this specific body that fits in these specific skinny jeans really everything to you? Or is it watching your kids grow up and enjoy your life while you do this? How can you create more joy in your day-to-day that doesn't rely on some abstract weight or date in the future that makes you feel crappy every day from now till then? Yes, Fit Mama, it is possible for you. I know that it is. Just realize that it's little things every single day. And the things that you're right now calling mistakes or bad things or things that you did that were wrong, realize that they are lessons. They are opportunities to learn and realize that there's a better way for you that both short-term and long-term will make you feel much better than the things you might be doing right now. Because when you face the feelings, like I said, when I hurt my back, I was so angry at myself and I was so full of shame that I did this. And now what was I going to say to people? That I hurt myself and I didn't know enough to help myself get stronger or not hurt myself or whatever stories I told myself over and over. But when I was ready, through the help of one of my most incredible favorite coaches, Yana Arsenault of the Pain Freedom Method, she helped me realize that A, I was going to get better, and B, I needed to move and get through the negative emotions that I was storing in my body that kept creating the same pain over and over and over. And I talk a lot about this in the book, The Love Fit Mama Way. So I do encourage you to get a copy of that. You can either go to lovefitmama.com/book or PM me, DM me. I will send you the link personally, or you can go on Amazon and you can get it on Kindle or in hard copy. So really get your hands on this book. I'm going to be creating an audio version of it soon, which I'm really excited to do. But I really, really, really know that the hard copy of the book has images in it. It has words in it that will resonate with you, that listening to them is not the same always as reading them. So allow yourself, Fit Mama, through self-care, through masturbating and having intimacy with yourself and intimacy with your partner that feels good, that's based on healthy boundaries that feel good for you. Take a massage, get a manicure, get an early night's sleep. Start to take care of the foundations that allow you to feel good, allow you to feel the feelings of this dream body, of getting back the body. What does that feel like? Because right now it's just some thought in your head. You're not feeling it in your body. And the minute you do feel that feeling, what would it feel like to feel in that dream body? You will start to connect with that and you will start to feel that way regardless of what your body looks like. If you feel the way you want to feel, you will treat yourself in a way that honors the true loving body that will be created and that is already absolutely beautiful. So create that awareness around your self-talk. Create the boundaries needed to have time for self-care and sex and grooming, going to get that bikini wax, going to get that whatever makes you feel good, doing the things. And if growing it all out makes you feel good, do that too and own it. Feel your best with what you desire, not what someone else desires. Because remember, imagining you're straddling that inner and outer world, that inner world full of love and joy and peace that you were born with, that gets jaded over the years because of the outer world that society teaches you this, or your new conventional wisdom is this, or you're conditioned to think in this way. Remember, there's a bright light shining from within you that can shine out. And if you start straddling the inner and outer world by bringing them closer together, imagine your legs, two legs. One on one side is the inner world. One on the other side is in the outer world. Imagine if the inner and outer world look really, really different, and the joy and love within you are not being reflected outside of you. There's anger, there's rage, there's resentment that's showing up in your life outside of you. That's really what is happening inside you, and you're not facing it. So the discomfort of having your legs split between these inner and outer world in that very wide splits feels like crap. It feels painful at the very level of your nervous system, at the very level of your heart and your core. Get back to the core beliefs, whether it's through doing the FitMama Foundations and applying at the link in the show notes and joining us, or if it's just doing the work on your own, that's great to FitMama. But the work needs to be done such that you're not straddling the inner and outer world, and you're creating a relationship with yourself that feels good now, that isn't based on some story that society made you believe, where you're not good enough unless you look a certain way, which you know in your heart is a big load of crap, right? So reconnect with the core of who you are through sex, with your partner, with yourself, sex in your mind, heart, and loving towards your body that extends in the area of self-care, grooming, brushing your teeth, doing face masks and hair masks, taking long, luxurious baths, asking for presents that include a night away at a hotel or a retreat. I went recently on a 2-day spa retreat with a girlfriend of mine from high school, and that was a big yes. So I highly recommend it. Taking the time. You can make up all the excuses in the world as why that won't work, or you can figure out a way that it will. Talk to me. Send me a message if you need more support, FitMama. I am here for the work into your workout. I am such a lover and supporter of you, and the light within me, FitMama, sees and honors the beautiful shining light within you. Shine it bright through sex, self-care, and realizing your beautiful body is here for you right now. You don't need to go elsewhere for it. Have a great day, FitMama. Namaste.